Right, so video request number 1 for revision help has been on rounding to significant figures and estimating. So, when we're asked to round to significant figures, or even 1, 3, 10, what we're looking for are numbers that start at the beginning of the number that are non-zero values. And then we're going to count, in this case, to 2 significant figures, the second digit of the number, and then we're going to use the third digit to decide what to do with that second digit. Using our rules of rounding, 4 or less, leave it alone, 5 or more, round it up. So, in this first one, the 5 is my first significant figure, and the 8 is my second significant figure, so I'm going to use the 2 to decide what to do. 2 is 4 or less, so I'm going to leave it alone. So basically I'm rounding to 1 decimal place, so my answer is going to be 5.8. In the second one, we've got 4,073. Now, I said zeros aren't significant, it's only if they're at the beginning of a number, like in question C. If they're in the middle of a number, they are deemed as significant. So the 4 is significant, that's number 1. The 0 is significant, that's our second significant figure. And so we're going to use the 7 to decide what to do. So basically we're rounding this number to the nearest 100. 7 or more, round it up, so our answer is going to be 4,100. Now we have to put those placeholding zeros in because we have to put placeholding zeros up to where the decimal point would be, although we don't need to draw that decimal point in. In the third example here, we've got 0.0735. In this case, these zeros are not significant. The first significant figure here is the 7, and then the 3 is the second significant figure, and we're going to decide what to do using the 5. So our answer is going to be 0.07 and 5 or more, rounded up. You do not replace the 5 with a 0 because then your answer has got 3 significant figures. So, if you're asked to estimate, all it's asking you to do is round to 1 significant figure to make your answer or your calculation much easier to get. So, if we're looking at 736, we're going to round that to 1 significant figure. We're using the 3 as evidence. It says leave the 7 alone, so we're rounding it to the nearest 100, and we've got 700 multiplied. Now we need to round this number as well. So we've got a 9, that's our first significant figure. We're using the 7 to decide what to do. It says round it up, so we're going to round this up to 100. Now you can see the calculation is much easier because we take the digits and we multiply them together. So 7 times 1 is 7, and then we've got 4 zeros, so we put the 4 zeros on the end and end up with an answer of 70,000. Estimate does not mean calculate and then round. You do the rounding first because the whole point is to make it easier. The final example we've got here is 4,520 divided by 53. So again, we're looking for 1 significant figure, so that's the 4. We're going to use the 5 to decide what to do. It says round it up, so we're rounding to the nearest 1,000, so we've got 5,000, and we're going to divide that. This number, the 5 is the first significant figure, the 3 says leave it alone, we're rounding to the nearest 10, so we're going to divide by 50. Now, to make it even easier, we're going to score off the common 0, and now we've just got the calculation 500 divided by 5. Now, obviously that one's pretty straightforward to do, but if it was something a bit more complicated, you could use your bus stop method at this point. 5 goes into 5 once, and so our final answer would be 100. I hope that helps. If you've got any more questions, then please send me an email or you can join the Google Meet this afternoon.